Would you please welcome, making his way to the red corner from Alloa in Scotland, Rab Truesdale!
So, making his way to the cage, 26 years of age, Rab Truesdale, or Rab, as he's known from Scotland. 4 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. 3 of his wins by KO, but his latest fight in November of 2011 was a submission victory against Thomas Denham. So that suggests a rounded fighter, Pierre.
Very much so, and he's got to be good, because if you can come out to that Disney Baloo song, you have to be a bad man to back that up. It'll be interesting to see what type of game he has tonight. I think I've seen him before, and if I'm correct, very skilled on the ground, but more penchant to stand up and throw bombs.
Yes, only the 1 loss in 6 fights. And pretty recent, that November of last year, seeing it's March now, so that's a good turnaround for a professional fighter.
Yes, true.
And now, making his way to the blue corner and bringing with him a 100% professional fight record, ladies and gentlemen, from Bristol, England, Sam Blams Mensah!
So, Sam Mensah, as you heard, from Bristol, 30 years of age. He's got a 100% record because he's only had the 1 fight, and that was a KO win of Michael Smith at Chair Up 5, which is a Bristol-based organisation, fantastically run by a friend of mine, Andy Cleves there, a fantastic fighter in his own right. He's also got 2 amateur wins, so when you look at it, you've got an unbeaten fighter in 3 against a fighter with 4 wins, so on paper, closer than it may have looked originally, Pierre.
Talking about Mensah, I think there's going to be a clash of styles. Baloo is more so a technical boxer. You're going to see a lot of combinations, good footwork. Mensah believes in not setting up any of his shots. All of his shots are power shots, which is great if it lands. However, you have to question, how does that affect somebody that throws only power shots throughout the full first round? What's his gas tank like for the 2nd and the 3rd rounds? That is my only question, Malcolm.
And it's a good one, Pierre, and as you said, he's a man that's used to throwing the bombs. It's hard to change that habit, especially when it's worked for you. So technically, he's unbeaten in 3 if you count the amateur wins. And the old saying is, don't fix it if it ain't broke. But sometimes we need to evolve. It's not about fixing, it's about evolving.
And like you said, with the involvement, it's mixed martial arts. If he's able to mix it up and use that power shot to enhance, you know, a good wrestling base, setting it up, he could be a totally different fighter, a fighter that you would definitely watch out for in the future.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in association with GoDaddy.com and Lonsdale, this is BAMMA 9, presenting now 3 5-minute rounds of MMA action in the light heavyweight division. Our referee in charge of this contest is Mr. Mark Goddard. Firstly, in the red corner on my left, on the scales, his official weight is 205 pounds. His fight record reads 6 visits to the cage, 5 wins, 4 of which inside the distance, with 1 defeat. Ladies and gentlemen, from Alloa, Scotland, would you please welcome Rab Rab Truesdale. And across the ring, out of the blue corner, and bringing with him a 100% fight record. 4 visits to the cage, 4 victories, all of which have finished inside the scheduled distance. Ladies and gentlemen, he was on the scales at 202 pounds, 2 ounces. From Bristol, England, introducing Sam Blams Mensah. 3 5-minute rounds of MMA action in the light heavyweight division.
So the light heavyweights, both men shorter and stockier at the weight than some we've seen. Lower base of power. And here we go for the first of potentially 3.
I predict Mensah coming straight out of the gate with heavy shots. Now how Bellew reacts to that, whether or not he's going to trade shots, which I wouldn't recommend. Maybe close down the distance, try to take him down, work on hopefully a much improved ground game.
Well, he's taken 2 chopping leg kicks from Mensah and just replied with one of his own now, but he looks very relaxed. As you said, that haymaker attempt from Mensah.
Now, we've talked about this previously in other shows, because Malcolm, we've been around the block a couple times. You have to set those big shots up, because if you, got the attention there of Bellew, but if you don't load up, you telegraph it, and the other person is able, again, to possibly change levels, take you down, or at least avoid the shot.
There's balance issues as well that come with that, but at the moment, Mensah, it's working for him.
Now Mensah is, nice chopping leg kick there.
I like to see those start to be checked. You can take them only for so long, Pierre, then they start to work against you and your movement starts to go. And immediately I said that, Truesdale starts to use his own footwork to get out of the way of those kicks. You don't want to keep eating them.
No, because that's going to affect, again, another heavy shot that was telegraphed that allowed Bellew to close down that distance. However, look at the strength of Mensah. Mensah doesn't want to go down. Both guys are just scrambling right now, ending up in a clinch. No, excuse me. Bellew has a single leg and he dumps him.
Yes, you could see he was working that, as you said, from the start. He didn't want to stand and trade with Mensah for obvious reasons. And again, it shows the difference between the professional and the amateur level in the 2 amateur fights. They might have been finished very quickly for Mensah with big left-hand bombs, but as you said, in the warm-up to this fight, they've got to land. And if not, you do get balance issues. And you do set yourself up for this sort of position.
Now Mensah looking for a single leg of his own, back to the feet. Got a overhook by Bellew, looking to donkey kick his leg down, and big slam there by Mensah. Hello.
Yes, the strength of Sam Mensah is there for all to see in the most obvious of ways in this opening round.
Now you hear his camp yelling, position, position. You always want to go position before submission or even ground and pound, because you don't want to give any space. Now look at this here. Now he's in the full mount, hand control, looking to throw possibly some shots, or is he actually going for a submission here from topside?
Now looking to throw that big left hand, but almost got the back of Truesdale there.
And I can't see if he has the forearm up and underneath the chin. Now he's got the triangle locked from behind, which, really wears and tears on Bellew. He's going to have labored breathing, and man, you just don't want somebody that big hanging off your back.
That's right, he set this up very patiently, Sam Mensah.
Now under the tutelage of Paul Sutherland at Trojan, he showed some composure, and he's doing things that I haven't seen him do before in previous fights, which shows that evolvement that you talked about earlier.
Well, it's stepping up to the plate when it's needed. In previous fights, especially to amateur fights, as I said, the power, the raw shots, the heavy nature of the hitting might be all that was needed.
Now what he has to be careful of is that instead of going for that triangle control off the back, he doesn't want to cross his legs, because there's a leg lock that you can get from there if Bellew is aware that the legs are crossed.
And suddenly a reversal there from Truesdale. It was almost like he was waiting his moment there, Pierre. And he took it perfectly.
That was a beautiful show of just composed cagemanship. didn't freak out. Big shots there by Bellew, raining down the leather on Mensah. Mensah has full guard on Bellew. Bellew's gonna look to chop that elbow straight through the middle, and he's landing 1, 2, 3, and 4.
And suddenly it's a complete turnaround now.
Mensah has to, and the referee calls it.
Well, it has to be intelligent defense, Pierre. Remember, the referee needs to see that you're defending yourself intelligently. There is a cut there from the wicked downward elbows, but it came at a time when Paul Sutherland in Mensah's corner was saying, give up the back, get to top position again, as if you're wasting too much energy, and I think we saw what happened there. Truesdale stayed so calm and was just waiting his moment.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Our referee, Mark Goddard, stops the contest after 4 minutes 32 seconds of round number 1. The official decision is a TKO. Our winner from the red corner, Robert Bellew.